Anyway, welcome everybody to the Bris of Ari. So I'm going to introduce myself. I'm a Moyle today. I'm Moyle in Yiddish, Mohel in Hebrew. My name is Dr. Stephen Livingston. This has been my it's not really a job, my part-time vocation for about 20 years. When I'm not doing this in my normal everyday life, I'm a gynecologist, so I have many years of experience doing circumcisions as part of my regular everyday job in the hospital for many years, as well as doing the Moyle vocation on the side. I'm just going to speak to the obvious. I'm just wearing the mask out of an abundance of caution. I'm not sick. I've been fully vaccinated, but if you realize that at one point today, I'm going to be working about 2 feet from the baby's face, and so just as an abundance of caution, I don't want to give the baby anything, and then plus, of course, I'm still seeing patients during the week and so forth, so it's good not to have any vector between me back and forth. And I'll also mention, the other thing is I'm very happy to have anyone video or take photos and so forth, except while I'm doing the actual circumcision, because I find it a little distracting, and believe me, you don't want to distract me at that particular point. So before and after is fine, and same thing for anyone joining us online. We're happy that you're here. If you're remote, we probably will either turn the monitor or just cut the video for a few minutes. The circumcision itself, I'll give everybody plenty of notice. But that actually only takes about 5 minutes. It really doesn't take very long. My goal is accuracy and not speed, but it really doesn't take very long. Who here has either seen a circumcision or been to a bris? Okay, the majority. So I also let everybody know in advance, the baby will cry, unfortunately, but we're doing several things that he's really not going to like, such as we have to take off his diaper, and we have to hold him down so he can't move, and then the fan and the air conditioning is blowing on him, and I use some cold antiseptic where he doesn't like the cold antiseptic, and then we do the circumcision. So do expect him to cry. That's pretty normal, but as I said, it doesn't take very long, and also from having done many of these, I can tell you that about 9 times out of 10, once you're done, you pick the baby up, you hug him, you give him something to feed on since he hasn't fed for an hour or so. And I'd say 9 times out of 10, the baby settled down very quickly, like not much happened, so that's just a little bit about what to expect from that. I always, at the beginning of the bris ceremonies, I asked a very basic question, which was, who knows what bris means? And the hint is it doesn't mean circumcision. Very good. So points over there. So the full term is actually bris milah, which means covenant of circumcision, which goes back to Abraham, who was the first Jew who had a covenant or an agreement with God that in every generation, every Jewish male would be circumcised, and that would be his sign of his faith, his religion that would be on his body for his whole life. So the point being, you should have faith in your mind, and let's face it, there's nothing cuter than a baby sneeze. We go back to Abraham, and because he was the first Jew, he had to circumcise himself, and according to the Torah, he circumcised himself. Yes, I hear a lot of the women growing. It should really be men. At age 99, according to the Torah, he circumcised himself. Now, I did learn from my daughter's bar mitzvah lessons that they might have counted years in a different way, but nonetheless, it does say 99. And then Abraham circumcised his son, Isaac, and so in every generation since that time, it's technically, according to Jewish law, been considered the job of the father to circumcise his son. However, there is good news for Russell, which is he is allowed to designate an agent to do it on his behalf. And I heard that Helena generally works from the neck up, so she's out. Would you like to designate an agent? I would think no hesitation, and I'm the opposite. We just work from the neck down. And the name, as I mentioned earlier, is a Moyle or a Mohel, and that person can be from different backgrounds. So, for example, you could have a rabbi or a cantor who has several years of training in how to manage the circumcision, and not only do the circumcision, but you have to know how to manage any problems, bleeding, etc. So you have to take a couple of years to know how to do that if you're not a trained physician. Many mohels are trained physicians or surgeons, especially OBGYNs who in normal life do most of the first ceremonies in the hospital. You need a minute?
He's never let them in. Oh, we just did?
Okay, we just have an issue with the remote feed.
Yeah, technical issue.
So the youngest person
He
takes
said
the
the
day.
So anyway, so that's the background. Can be either religious functionary or it can be a physician or a surgeon who learns the religious aspect, and then we come together to do this. So I've been doing this a while, and I actually enjoy doing it, even though I know everybody's always very nervous about the actual circumcision, which is normal, but it's actually enjoyable, and it's considered a happy festive occasion, a life cycle event, just like a bar mitzvah or a wedding. And, we celebrate with Ari and his family as well. I've accumulated a lot of very good, clean oil jokes. I always make it a point to tell one for ceremony, and I'm going to go until the last gets here. But these are all clean jokes, but I like this one. So two boys, let's just call them David and Daniel, and they're both 7 years old, and they both get admitted to Miami Children's Hospital on the same day, and they're sharing the room. And David turns to Daniel and he says, "Well, what are you here for?" And Daniel says, "Well, I'm here to get my tonsils out." And David says, "You know what, that's not such a bad deal. You know, you get done, they give you all the ice cream you can eat, they treat you like a king, you're out of here in a day, it should be great." And Daniel says, "That's fantastic. How about you, David? What are you here for?" And David says, "Well, I'm here for a circumcision." And Daniel said, "That is not good. I had one when I was 8 days old and I couldn't walk for a year." Okay, why don't we formally get started?
Okay.
He's on his way.
Yeah, Eric's coming in.
Okay.
And wait, grandma's not in here, grandma's out there waiting for him.
Oh,
I can hear him.
Can't do without grandma.
or his uncle.
He can't, he can't.